When Liam isn't selling his goods, he uses his clone to practice his attack spells, and he has finally learned to control the magic missile spell, so he's pretty pleased with himself. All of a sudden, he hears someone approaching, so he dispels his clone and goes out to find out who it is, and to his surprise, he finds out it's Albrevet. Albrevet wastes no time and immediately asks Liam what he wants to become in the future. Liam knows Albrevet only asking because he wants to figure out if Liam is really a threat to his position as the successor of the family. But as mentioned before, Liam has no interest in family politics, so he tells Albrevet that he wants to become independent in the future. Albrevet is relieved since he won't have to compete with Liam for succession rights if he becomes independent. So to help him become independent as quickly as possible, he offers to put in a good word for him so he can join the Hunters Guild. Later that day, Liam heads to the Hunters Guild, and as soon as he enters, all eyes are on him because the Hunters don't think a kid like Liam is qualified to be here. Liam walks up to the front desk to meet the Guild Master, and the Guild Master already heard about him from Albrevet, but he's still going to have to give Liam a test to gauge his ability. He tells Liam to fire an offensive spell at him with any incantation he wants, but Liam had never heard of incantation before, so he had no idea what the Guild Master was talking about. The Guild Master had been expecting Liam to be slightly stronger than average since Albrevet recommended him, but after Liam fires his spell, the Guild Master has a near-death experience. Luckily, Liam had the sense to not aim directly at him, so after calming himself down, he grants Liam B-rank status. Now that Liam has an official ranking, he heads out to complete his first mission, but before he leaves, he is approached by a girl. She introduces herself as Asuna Aquage, and she was really impressed by what Liam is capable of, so she asks if he wants to team up with her. Liam was planning to go out solo, but he doesn't mind having a partner with him. So he agrees to team up with Asuna, and she is overjoyed to hear that. She then grabs his hand and leads him away so they can get to work. But Liam is confused since neither of them has actually been given a mission yet. Asuna explains to him that missions are only handed out to parties that are A rank or higher. The rest of the ranks have to go out and slay dangerous monsters for a reward, and as luck would have it, they just so happen to run into a wolf monster. Unfortunately, it turns out to be an entire pack of wolves, so Asuna isn't sure they'll be able to handle this many. Liam, on the other hand, thinks this should be an easy victory with the two of them, so he asks Asuna to finish the wolves off once he has incapacitated them. He then summons a couple of earth spirits and uses them as bait to get the attention of the wolves, and once the wolves bite down, Liam has the gnomes expand to lock their jaws in place. And now that they can no longer move, Asuna is free to cut them down one by one. All in all, there were 42 wolves killed, and when they present the carcasses to the Guild Master, he is so impressed by their skill that he tells them he has a special mission for them. There's apparently an important person coming to this town in a few days, so he wants Liam and Asuna to take out an armored caterpillar that has been blocking the path. There'll be a disaster if an important person coming were to get hurt while visiting their town, so Liam is taking this very seriously. They find the caterpillar fairly easily, but no matter what they try, they can't seem to kill it. All Asuna's strikes and all Liam's magic just bounces off its tough shell, and if this keeps up, then they'll never be able to take this thing down. While taking a break, Asuna jokes that the only thing that could get through that caterpillar's armor would be a meteor, but there's no way they can get a meteor to strike right here. However, Asuna's comment gave Liam an amazing idea, so he asks her to draw the caterpillar's attention while he gets ready. Asuna has no idea what Liam is planning to do, but she goes along with his plan and distracts the caterpillar, and once it is in position, Liam opens his item box and drops a massive boulder on the worm, killing it in one blow. The method was so effective, in fact, that they managed to kill a second caterpillar. Liam was worried there might be more caterpillars around, so he used a search spell after killing the first one, and sure enough, he found a second lurking nearby, so he killed it too. The Guild Master is so impressed with Asuna and Liam's performance that he offers to give them 5 times the original reward, and a couple days later, when the important person is set to arrive, Liam, Asuna, and a lot of the townspeople wait outside to see who it is. Liam's father and Albrevet are there as well to greet their guest, but for some reason, the man seems to have taken an interest in Liam. A lot of stuff happens and James ends up calling a meeting with Liam, but Liam has no idea why. The man introduces himself as James Stanley, and he wants to get straight to the point, so he asks Liam how he got Raymond's ring. He thinks Liam must have stolen it, but Liam gets up and yells that he would never do such a thing to his master. He explains the whole encounter he had with that man in the forest, and after hearing the whole story, Stanley finds it really amusing since that sounds exactly like something Raymond would do. He apologizes for accusing Liam of theft since he hadn't realized Raymond took on a student, but since he's here anyway, he wants to see how strong Raymond's student really is. He tells his assistant, Simon, to go stand over in the corner and asks Liam to fire his most powerful spell at Simon. Liam agrees to the test, so he gets into position and prepares to cast his magic missiles, but for an extra boost, he decides to use an incantation. He recently learned that incantation amplifies the magic power used in casting a spell, and for the best effect, the words used in the incantation must have some significance to the caster, so Liam starts reciting the names of his favorite idols. The incantation evidently works because Liam's spell casting is boosted from the usual 7 to 11 at once, and poor Simon over here can't handle it, so the attack breaks through his shield and he gets hit. James is impressed with Liam's capacity for high-volume magic, so he offers him a reward and says he will be granted the status of a knight. Becoming a knight means Liam is now independent, so Albrevet will probably stop watching him from now on since he's no longer a threat to his succession. Anyway, James knows Raymond really well, so he knows that Raymond loves playing practical jokes and asks if anything like that has happened to him recently. And now that he mentions it, when Liam was training to master his item box, he ended up using it to drain out the lake in the forest. But when he did this, he found a letter left there by Raymond. It was addressed to Liam and said that Raymond had wanted to give Liam 100 kilograms of gold as a graduation gift, but it all sank to the bottom of the lake, so instead he decided to turn the gold into gold dust and mix it into the river. Liam thinks it was just a waste of all that gold to dump it all in that river, but from what James knows about Raymond, there's probably more to it than just a practical joke, so it might be worth looking a little deeper into it. Liam takes James' advice and decides to head back to the lake to suck up all the water again, but this time he gets the bright idea to use his item box to separate the gold dust from the water, and when he does this, it activates a hidden door. Inside, Liam finds a note from Raymond, and it says Liam can have this maximum level grimoire as his real graduation gift since he figured out the riddle. Raymond himself was never able to master it, but Liam might get some use out of it. Liam takes a look at the grimoire and finds an interesting spell called Another World in there, and after several hours of trial and error, Liam finally manages to get the spell to work. The Another World spell creates a separate dimension which Liam has full control over, so he can open a gateway anywhere, and no one can enter without his permission. Liam is overjoyed by all the amazing things he could do with this spell, so as soon as he has the chance, he goes out hunting with Asuna again. They are up against a massive frog this time, so Liam first tries using his fire spirits to attack it, but that wasn't enough to kill a frog. In retaliation, the frog begins charging up its ultimate attack, so just before they get hit, Liam pulls Asuna into his pocket dimension. Thanks to this, both of them remain safe from the frog's electrocution, and once the frog finally runs out of energy, they finish it off. A little while later, they return to the guild with the frog's magic stone, and the guild master can hardly believe that they managed to pull it off. That quest was A rank, so he at least expected them to struggle a little, but it looks like it was barely a challenge for Liam. Asuna gets upset at the guild master because he keeps referring to Liam alone even though she fought alongside him. The guild master apologizes, but since Liam kind of did everything, he forgot Asuna was even a member of the team. He can see that Asuna is upset that she's so much weaker than Liam, so he does the responsible thing and suggests that Liam make Asuna his slave. Neither of them thinks it's a good idea since as a slave, Asuna would be forced to obey any commands Liam gives, but then the guild master mentions the fact that as Liam's familiar, Asuna would automatically grow stronger in proportion to Liam's strength. And as soon as she hears that, she's on board with becoming Liam's slave. Sure, she won't be able to refuse if Liam ends up making pervy requests, but Asuna trusts that he wouldn't do that. And even if he did, she wouldn't mind. They end up creating the contract, and once it's done, Asuna immediately disappears. Everyone is shocked, but then she reappears behind Liam and explains that she just moved really fast. After the contract was established, Asuna heard a voice in her head that told her a unique skill has been acquired. Speedster. Liam thinks this is incredibly interesting, so interesting in fact that he wants to try it out again, but making familiar contracts forces obedience, so it would be hard to find someone who is willing to lose their freedom in exchange for a skill. Fortunately, Asuna knows someone who'd be perfect for it. They go to see Asuna's friend, Jody, and explain the whole situation to her. Jody's got nothing better to do right now, so she agrees to become Liam's familiar, and after the contract is formed, everyone asks her if she unlocked a unique skill as well, but rather than tell them what it is, Jody walks out of the guild and returns with 2 sandwiches. She then gives one of the sandwiches to a guy with a broken hand, and the second he eats it, his arm recovers. Jody explains that her unique skill allows her to heal people with the food she makes. Several days later, Liam is meeting with James again, and he informs Liam that Princess Scarlet is coming to visit him. Liam doesn't understand why the princess would come all the way here for someone like him, but James reminds Liam that he completed an A-rank quest and can cast up to 11 spells at once, plus he can grant people unique skills by becoming their master. The princess is particularly interested in seeing Liam demonstrate the abilities of his slaves, but Liam firmly refuses to do such a thing. James can't believe Liam truly wishes to turn down a request from the queen herself, but even though Jody and Asuna are Liam's familiars, they are still his friends, so he will not turn them into a circus act for someone's amusement. James can see that Liam isn't willing to budge on his refusal, so he tells him he can leave. And once Liam is gone, it is revealed that the maid that had been serving them during the conversation was really the princess. James apologizes to the princess for Leon's refusal, but she actually found it quite interesting that Liam is willing to go against royalty to protect his friends, but she wants to see if he will do the same when talking to her face to face.